Hello everyone, welcome back to a new replay cast. Today we're going to be having a look at Time versus Zest. Top right is going to be Zest and bottom left going to be Time. Time is a Chinese Terran player who is qualified for BlizzCon, I believe, at least last year. I'm not sure about the year before. It's definitely one of the top foreigners at the moment. Foreigner, of course, meaning non-Korean. If you are aware of how StarCraft works, is that everyone that's not Korean is a foreigner. They usually are a little worse than a Korean guy. So let's see how Time will do against this Korean player. Zest, of course, one of the all-time greats. See Time starting with a standard barracks first into gas. We'll be getting a fast Reaper followed up by a Marine. Marine will be used to both chase away this probe if it decides to come back. Oh, that's some nice harassment there. Command center ends up going down at 140, which is not the latest, honestly. Good job for Time as well. Slightly off center, but of course Terran has the opportunity to always lift that command center, which is quite nice to do. Zest is sticking around with his probe for now. Let's see what he's planning for it. As he did open up with core first, so he's going to be able to, well, hopefully he's going to be able to do something here with that first adapt. So he's investing a little bit in it. Time is not moving across the map with his first Reaper, which is weird, because a lot of the time when people open barracks first, they always move across the map with that Reaper. I mean, interesting to see that Time decides not to. First Adept is staying home here for Zest. There's no second unit on the way yet. Stalker is starting now. As well as a Twilight Hills. This is looking like a Dark Shrine, honestly. It's going to be a pylon here. He's then going to build a Dark Shrine and a gateway over there. That's going to be the most likely scenario that I can imagine, at least. Very fast Dark Shrine as well. He didn't delay his second Stalker for a bit. Now, this might look like a wall, but this is not a wall. You can just jump up here if you're a Terran player. It's going to be completely fine. So here we go. Pylon finishes. Dark Shrine starts, and second gateway will be proxied. Or a lot of the time you see that second gateway being built over here, and then the third gateway being proxied. We'll see what Zest decides to do this time around, but you do need a gateway, or yeah, you actually do need a gateway proxy in order to get those fast Dark Templar on the other side of the map. There we go. Second gateway, third gateway will be at home, trying to form somewhat of a wall. Here comes Time. Time moves in. Sees an Adept and a Stalker's like, alright, that's not for me. It's important that this probe doesn't get spotted, actually. I think that would be such a huge tell if Time does end up finding that. Same time we have, if we take a look at what Time is doing, he's playing Cyclone, Tank into 3 racks. So this might be like some Stim tank build. This usually isn't all that great against DTs, honestly, because I mean, there's no eBay here. There's no opportunity to get a Raven. There's no way to scout your opponent's base with a drop of some sort. So it's all going to be dependent on those scans. If he doesn't have scans ready, he's going to lose. If he does have scans ready, then, well, at least he's in a kind of playable spot. Here come the 2DTs. We'll be moving out. How many scans do we have? We still have 2 scans available. So we see Time is ready. Does he notice? Oh, there's no lift on the depot here. That's a mistake. That is a mistake. Lifts the depot just a second too late. Good scan here though, and we'll get 2 DTs for only 3 workers. Now 2 scans are being used, so that costs him a little bit as well, but I think that's kind of worth it, honestly. Turret goes down immediately. 3rd DT is on the way. As a follow-up, we have a Prism and a Robo Bay, so this could potentially be a Colossus drop as a follow-up. I haven't seen this an awful lot. Oh, it's just moving in and moving out. What is the... Okay, there's gonna be enough energy for some scans pretty soon. You actually see a move out here coming out of Time, or at least an attempted move out, so he's gonna use his two scans. Funny thing is that if these DTs actually go into the natural, they might be able to do a fair amount of damage. Of course, Zest isn't quite aware of that. Well, I lied. He might be aware of that. We have 1 Marine dying now. The turret might actually fall as well. This is quite a lot of damage that Zest is doing right here. Turret tries to attack that prism. Is there a turret in the main? There is a turret in the main. Recalls though, because he's afraid of the push that is happening on the other side of the map. This is quite interesting. We have this cyclone. Not sure what it was doing, but one disruptor is on the way. Tanks are sieging up. I wouldn't mind just seeing him send one DT forward, you know? Like, I guess there's enough scans at this point to deal with that. There's 2 scans and 4 scans about to be available. I love the batteries being added. You see a disruptor shot not being cast for now. Okay, that's really using it on the bunker. I'm not a massive fan of that, honestly. Stim doing a lot, but the thing you gotta remember with Stim is that you can't really use it too many times in this scenario as there's no medevacts. This fight seems to be going pretty well here for Zest, who is up 14 workers at this point. So I think Zest is going to be absolutely fine here. Time's going to need to think of something at least in order to try and get back into this game. So I don't think he's going to be able to do much damage here. He doesn't even have a turret here. We see an Archon drop moving out. Will be, I guess, heading for the Marines, eh? Yeah, wow. A couple of Stalkers are falling to the tanks. So you see in continued SCV production, that's something at least. No +1 has started yet. Oh wait, is +1 done already? No. Okay. I was a bit confused there because he starts the armor research, which makes no sense if you don't have +1 attack yet. Of course, Marines care way more about +1 attack than they do about armor. Now, we do have our first 2 medevacs out, which means we're going to see another push. There's no secondary upgrade yet here for Zest, or there's no first upgrade even here for Zest. No blink, no charge. But he sure got a lot of love. So maybe that's gonna help him. Tanks being put into this medevac. Gravitic drive is about to finish up, making this prism a lot quicker. Is this the first Colossi that's gonna be out? Yes, it's gonna be the first Colossi. I would have loved to see charge rather than blink here. I think blink doesn't do as much in these scenarios against these tank counts, and charge is very, very useful. Oh, decent disruptor hit, kills a couple of Marines. Not too many. It is a nasty position. Of course, you have this very tight choke. Zest realizes that, starts moving through it immediately. She does manage to get both tanks very, very swiftly. I'm still kind of afraid here of the position that Time has. I mean, it isn't that hot. 78 supply against 94 currently. We have a drop loading up. No third base on the way yet. We're at 3 barracks. +1 is about to finish up, and finally we have a fort gas going down as well. Stalkers managing to find some Marines, and this medevac seems rather low at this point. Now, these 2 drops might be able to do something, and if they get 6-7 workers, delay a little bit of mining from Zest, maybe we have something here. And most of all, they might be able to create some chaos, which is also important. Then this drop might be able to come in and do something as well. So what do we have in the main base right now? Absolutely nothing. So this is a good start of the drop. Gets a single worker, snipes a pylon, forces a recall, snipes a second pylon. Oh, gotta be careful with it. Load in. Blink is finished. No blink being used though. Now drops towards the natural. There's another drop heading in, or sorry, drops towards the third. Another drop heading into the natural. This prism isn't really doing anything. 6 workers, 7 workers have gone down. Good drop here coming out of Time, and another good drop here. We'll be able to kill a couple more workers. So we see 11 workers going down, and Time is floating a fair amount of money. Hasn't been macroing too well. There we go. 3rd CC being built finally. We have another big drop coming in. 3 medevacs this time moving out. Oh, disruptor drop. Will get sniped, but not before he gets 3 SCVs and a mule. Couple of adepts being warped in. They don't have glaives though, so they're not going to be too useful. Now where's the army here for Zest? The army is here, and there's so many batteries in this spot. A couple of cannons doing some work. There still is 1 medevac here. Probe does not see that. So medevac might be able to go back into the main base. Vikings will be able to push away this prism, at least for now. We have 3 medevacs heading into that natural base. Big scan. Zest should realize something is heading this way. But yeah, Time decides, okay, well, if you're there, I'm not gonna go. Couple of stalkers in the main base. We'll be able to defend any kind of drop from there. So what's Time's plan at this point? Well, he managed to get himself kind of back into the game. You know, I wouldn't mind seeing continued upgrades or perhaps a couple more workers being produced. He's doing that now, but I feel like he's been a little slow on that at times. Yeah, times. And we see him going into Liberator, Viking, some sort of combination between the two. So we have this Adept Prism once again moving out. Once +1 finish, of course, we'll be able to two-shot SCVs. It's going to be a semi-big deal. I mean, he's not going to get too many. Hell, he might even fly into this mine and just lose this Prism. No, was pretty close though. Was pretty close indeed. Here's the +1. We'll end up finishing. A couple of Marines actually biting the dust. Vikings show up. We'll chase this away. So Zest kind of establishes some control in this game again. Only 53 workers though. Staying on 4 gases. He has pretty decent mineral income, don't get me wrong, but I feel like if you play like this, you need a slightly faster fort base in order to really keep that mineral income high and mighty. Here comes the fort base, no extra workers still being produced, so we actually for the first time see Time pulling ahead in the worker count. Not necessarily meaning that he's going to be ahead in eco, but for now it kind of does. He's up 700 minerals a minute. Of course, mules are helping out there as well. I would love to see a fort base being built here. Fort base, extra gases. Well, actually, it doesn't need extra gas. He has 900 gas. It's just an armory and a second eBay. I think the fast Ghost Academy is not really necessary here at this point. I think Time is going to be completely fine. So you see this mine burrowed in the ground. Big shot, doesn't get anything. Good micro there by Zest. Armory on the way together with that second eBay. Ghost Academy has finished. We don't see any Ghost in production as of yet though. Good micro with all of these stalkers by Zest. A couple of SCVs went down. I think there was DTs that I missed. Darkshrine still alive in this weird position, by the way. Wouldn't mind if Time sends a drop there once he gets some map control back and tries to clear that. It's annoying to have to rebuild the Darkshrine. It's a little expensive. Decent micro. I think that could have gone slightly better. Of course, he does have vision here with this observer. Him killing those mines should definitely trigger a scan. I mean, how else is he gonna have detection? It's gotta be that observer, so really should scan that observer. It's gonna be pretty big. We have a setup here for Zest, who does not have DT blink yet, but I'm sure is thinking about it. There's a bunch of stalkers here, a couple of colossi, 3 robos on the way right now, or 2 robos on the way. There's already 1 finish. It's going to be going into mass disruptor production with 2 colossi. We have a fort base on the way for Time as well, who's still on 60 workers. Zest still on 57 workers. So even though Zest is ahead, it's not like he's absolutely spiraling out of control, right? He's looking good, don't get me wrong, but he's actually he's down in workers. He's not down in income because he does have it spread out better, and you see some slight oversaturation going on. Well, not here, but at this third base and at the natural. DT's being spread around. This is one hell of a disruptor position. I'm not a fan of it. Yeah, there's no vision on top of the ramp. I think that was a miss rally, if anything. Still this very low worker count here for Zest. Right now, it's finally rebuilding some of them. A couple of workers making their way across. 1 DT is doing some damage, sees the move out, and now Zest is like, okay, you took the fort base. My time has come now. As he will start moving forward with his main army, these guys will most likely start attacking this planetary. At least it wouldn't surprise me. Disruptor hit something. I couldn't quite see what it was. Here we go. This base is... Oh, I love this split off. This is a good split off. Oh, you really should continue splitting off though, my friend. Yeah. Gotta be careful there. A couple of DTs are falling very swiftly. Good moves here by Time, who sees every movement that Zest makes. Now Zest is of course starting to float some money because he is getting close to that max. I think think he could probably send a couple of zealots here at this point. Now that he killed those rocks, it's going to be very, very difficult for Time to defend. Also, that prism going into the main could be dangerous here. And there is a turret here. We'll be able to get 3 shots off. 1, 2, 4 maybe even. Well, 4 shots off. Then in combination with a mine, that might be enough. These zealots will be heading into the 3rd base. Meanwhile, we see Time is trying to move out. Big warping into the main base. This is going to be very, very rough to deal with for Time. He's going to use a couple of liberators to make sure that at least he can't lose all of his buildings. Sends up cavalry as well. Well, it's more the infantry. Pretty decent defense here by Time. Almost loses 4 workers, killed about 9 to 10 zealots. There's still 1 zealot remaining though. Time's army supply is looking very healthy. He's gonna go for a push right now. 52 workers, 136 army supply, 2 upgrades as well as enhanced shockwave being done. 1 good EMP on top of those disruptors and they start falling like flies, I can assure you that, my friends. Now, we do have a planetary here, so I'm not sure why Time is so defensive at this point. I mean, his army is the strongest it's gonna be, most likely. It's not like he's getting new upgrades, he's maxed. He's getting a couple more ghosts, but he already has 5 ghosts. I don't think he needs that. There's 8 liberators here. These DTs don't have blink yet. Shadow Stride is on the way. And once again, we have these... I don't understand why this army isn't getting jumped, honestly. It seems very, very odd to me. Now, here we go. Big run by onto this planetary. Repair might be able to save a lot here. And it will be. Liberators being forced back, though. No zealots still being sent into this spot. It's a massive run by. This is a massive run by. Shadow Stride of over halfway done now. Once that finishes, those planetaries are gonna fall like flies. I can tell you. I guess with the Liberators he might be okay. Liberators do a lot of damage. What's the upgrades here? No upgrades for Liberators. Don't think it really matters against DTs though. Still should be able to 2-shot. Good blink forward here by Zest, who still has these good disruptor shots coming down as well. Is there still any disruptor shots left? It doesn't look like it. As I say that, 2 more come out. The big run by is being sent home at this point. Because even though that trade didn't look too good for Zest, he still has a lot of supplies, the ability to reinforce. And here comes the flank with those chartlots, with the DTs. Stalkers coming in from the top as well. Now Vikings trying to land, but I don't think this is going to be enough. Blink forward. Time calls GG as Zest wins this game. With some nice DT opener into those drops. Very odd defense, but yeah, cool little game. If you did enjoy it, don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Smash the like button. Those things help me a lot. Thank you all for watching and see you all next time. Bye bye.